Okay, looks like we have Dmitri and is that that's Michael. Good pressure build up. Good. Really nice. So Michael, I think what I would do here is sell that. You may not have completely perfectly landed it. Oh, maybe. But I think that I would sell that like it was the best point ever executed in kendo, and then that puts you in a really good mental space for the rest of the fight. And as I said in a previous commentary, it's not necessarily about trying to undermine the other person, but it certainly does put them on the back foot, so to speak. And then that gives you more opportunities throughout your grading. We're not trying to get them to fail, but we are trying to put ourselves in the best position to get a good result. So I would sell that and make sure that he knew and that the judges knew that that was a really, really good point. So you don't need to follow up necessarily unless it was an obvious miss. And it's one of those things that you just have to make the judgment call in the moment. Let's have another look and carry on. Straighten up. Michael, if you can, pull your shoulders back and your head up. Make yourself look as tall as possible, mate. Oof, they hurt. They hurt. There's an opportunity right there. So Dimitri's a little bit slow to turn around, a little bit sensei-esque, but that's an opportunity for you, Michael. Moments like that. There it is there, although I do empathise that you're probably not interested in following up after getting a whack. Where that, like, ooh, yeah, that probably hurt just a little bit. That's okay. So I think what could possibly work here, Michael, against an opponent like Dimitri is a few fakes or feints. And what I mean by that is that if you can bring his hands up by doing a quick step in or sort of pointing at his kote or pointing at his man and lift his hands up, then you're not sort of striking and hoping that it will hit like you just did now, like this quite work. So I think what you might be able to do uh, is is sort of do a fake strike up here somewhere, up high, not intending to hit, but just intending to lift his hands up and break his kame, and then you can come down and hit his kote. Or his door, or whatever the case may be. So use a sort of a half step to get your shinai to about here, about this distance. That'll bring your foot into about maybe about here. His hands will be up, and then you can execute a kote strike or a kote door or a nuki door or whatever the case may be. So just trying to break his kamae will make a really big difference to the strategy that you're putting in here to create opportunities and openings. Oof. So at this point, there's no points being scored, right? And what the panelists might be thinking, somebody like Dimitri, is that these sort of door cuts, I guess they are gyaku door attempts. They're not landing because the opportunity is not there. The person's not lifting their hands up, and so what that means is that we're seeing a repetition of something that's not working, and we're thinking, why not try something different with a different opponent? Um, so Dimitri, if this does get to you, I think that's something to think about. I like the way that you can sort of hold off and defend by keeping a good solid kamae. That's really, really good. Uh, but attempting those gyakudo when the opportunity is not there is not. it's not going to work, right? Okay, so Michael, here's a good one for you, mate. This is great, really good sort of pressure building up. Wonder, I do wonder if both of you are sort of thinking, I don't know what to do here. And so the pressure that's building up in this sort of moment is it's not necessarily a purposeful tension that's being built. It's just sort of a um, hmm. I should be starting to do, I should be doing something in the next sort of 5 to 10 seconds, and that's where the pressure is. So again, Michael, you can fake and strike, and I think this is a really good opportunity here to show how you could do a combination. Let's see how it plays out. So strike kote and then straight to men. Bang, bang. I think that just here, can I do this? Oh, it won't let me do it. But just here, I think that this would be a really good opportunity. Here, I think this would be a really good opportunity, really good posture, really good sort of build up. Here's the opportunity. You see, your shinai is further out, it's closer to the target. Dimitri's shinai is further up, which puts his kote wide open. So if your shinai was even further out, hopefully you can see the track of my mouse here, Michael. If your shinai was stretched out more, pointing at that kote, easy debana kote right there. Um, if you wanted to, you could be setting yourself up for a kote men in exactly the same way. And it's difficult to say. I'd prefer, as a panelist, I'd prefer to see you do a kote men over a debana kote. But in saying that, I would just prefer to see you get an ippon. So whatever it takes, again, it's your call in the moment. But I think the opportunity is there, not for a men strike from here, but stretching out and then the kote. If you nail it, sell it. If you're not quite happy with it, bounce up for the kote men. And you've got a really good setup here, the way that your body's positioned to do either of those. Pro tip for anyone else that's watching, this here for me is an excellent opportunity. I'll show you what I mean. See if you can see it. I'll come back a bit more. Watch this. That right there. See it? Again. Again. That. That means I'm puffed. I'm gassed. I'm buggered. I'm thinking about my heart rate rather than, or the pain in my lungs rather than putting the gas on to the other person. That for me as an opponent is an opportunity. A little bit sort of perhaps wishful thinking for you to notice it in the middle of a grading. You're trying to look good. But the more that you see those sorts of things, you think to yourself, okay, he's definitely buggered. Another opportunity right there. He's definitely buggered. Go right there because he's not. Dimitri's not sort of watching, or not watching, but probably a little bit distracted because he's done two fights in a row from cold, right? So, boom, straight on top of him. That's an opportunity, and we can show the grading panelists that hey, I'm on, I'm fit, I'm prepared.